All right, welcome everybody. I'm here today in Las Vegas, in Planet Hollywood, with world-famous stage hypnotist Marc Savard.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah,
Excited. World famous. I don't know if I got that far, but I'll take it.
yeah. Well, if you play in Las Vegas, I guess it's quite world-famous.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm really proud to ask you some questions about hypnosis. And for the people who don't know you, you want to give a very short introduction about how you came into the field of hypnosis.
It happened by accident. I was interested. I did a little bit of reading and research, and my friends got wind of it. They said, hypnotize me, and next thing you know, here I am 19 years later. I am a certified trained hypnotherapist, and I perform 6 nights a week at Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas, and have done that for the last 6 years. And I'm entering my 20th decade into the business of hypnosis. So
Congratulations.
Thank you. Time flies by.
Yeah, I've seen many of your shows on DVD and the last days also live, which is an amazing, wonderful experience to see. It's hysterical and highly creative.
Thank you.
And I'm wondering, in all the years you did your routines with the people on stage in your comedy shows, what is one of the most funniest things you have people made doing?
I could honestly answer that every single week. There's something that is really crazy. When you're hypnotizing, 30 people a night, narrowing it down to 10 good individuals or a dozen good individuals, 6 shows a week.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got 60, 70, 80 people a week doing silly things. So there's always something that comes up. I mean, I've hypnotized some world's strongest man competitors to think that they're, ballerinas, those guys that lift cars and things. Yeah. So very, very funny. To very unique and individual scenarios that happen on stage that I could never recreate. We had a girl one time that it was an outdoor event, and I was asking them to do animal calls, to be imitating animals and calling animals. And she said that she'd be calling in a bat. And sure enough, a bat flew in.
Yeah, I've seen that on YouTube.
It was crazy. I mean, people thought, you guys must have let a bat go. Well, first of all, how do you get your own bat? Second of all, I mean, what are the chances of that happening? So there's been some crazy things. I've forgotten more things that has really happened. But there's always something unique.
Yeah, for example, yesterday in the show we had this guy who was river dancing. So you played that amazing good song where this guy is starting to dance on for the whole audience. And then you interrupt him, and in the middle of his dancing, he's apologizing himself for stealing your show.
Right.
And then you placed him in the corner like...
for some punishment, yes.
Yeah, which was hilarious to see because he changed into this little boy who was crying in the corner.
Yeah.
It was quite
comical, yeah.
Very comical, yeah. So I've heard also that you are obviously using hypnosis for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Let's say self-hypnosis is a great way how you can achieve goals and how you can reprogram your mind for basically having success in your life. So how do you use self-hypnosis for achieving your own dreams, which you obviously already have achieved a lot of dreams, I guess, but how do you use self-hypnosis for the future and your success?
Well, truth be told, the subconscious mind is a goal-striving, goal-achieving machine. That's what it wants to do. It wants to take an idea that you have in your mind and make it happen, if the idea is good or bad. So, when you plant certain images into your mind or using visualization and through repetition and putting an emotional feeling to those ideas, they lock into the mind and the mind wants to create them happen. So put the right ideas in, the mind will execute it. And that's a primary goal on how you should be achieving that. Now, for any type of self-hypnosis, if you're not sure that you can even be self-hypnotized, visualize. Close your eyes and imagine the way you want things to be. And just keep doing that in repetition, and then your mind will start wanting to make that happen.
Okay, cool. That's a simple technique.
Very simple.
We have to visualize our ideal or reality.
And people often say, oh, positive thinking. I don't believe in power of positive thinking. But when you ask the question, do you believe that someone can think themselves sick? And the answer is, well, yeah. Then if they can think themselves sick, they can think themselves well.
Yeah.
And it works the same way.
Okay, cool. Well, that's a nice technique. So, aside from being sick, I mean achieving your goals in life. So, have you ever hypnotize somebody in a restaurant, for example. We're going to go now into kind of a goofy area. For example, I guess you go into restaurants, and have you ever used your skill in a funny way, somebody in a restaurant, like a waitress or somebody?
Or a customer.
Or a customer.
Yeah, it's or someone in my dinner party. Yeah, it's really funny until they fall face first into the bowl of soup. I mean, I'm always more so before. Yeah. I mean, now I'm doing hypnosis 6 nights a week. That when I'm on my time off, I want to eat my dinner. I don't want to be messing around with the servers. But in the past, I have. We've played around with all kinds of crazy things and in crazy scenarios. And truth be told, everyone's fascinated by hypnosis. So you can find someone who wants to be hypnotized anywhere. Can you find someone against their will that you can begin playing around with some suggestions? Yeah, I've used some NLP techniques and some pattern interrupt sequences where I've began to maybe not necessarily get what I want, but influenced and persuaded to get what I'm looking for. Yeah. But I try to rely on my charm more than my hypnosis.
Okay, so hypnosis is a great tool for developing ourselves.
Yes.
And so actually with hypnosis as a tool, we can go to any imagined reality and let our subconscious mind manifest that. So how far you think a human being can go with using self-hypnosis? Or let's put it in another way. What is the biggest transformation a human being can make?
I don't think there's any limits. If you can think it, you can make it real. And the truth is we're governed by our own perception of reality. So you can change that perception, the reality changes.
Okay.
So it can be like a flick of a switch. Someone can be, not confident to very confident, or depressed to not depressed, because these are all governed by emotions in our mind. However, the emotion is in the mind. If you move into the subconscious mind through hypnosis, bypassing the critical factor, change the idea of what that emotion is, and now the mind references that as the new emotion. It's a completely new association. That's why smokers can be smoking 40, 50 years, hypnotized one time, never smoke again, never want another cigarette, and that is something that not only is the physical body addicted to, but the mind is addicted to as well. So something as simple as stop smoking can be applied to every part of human behavior, and every human behavior can be switched and changed in a matter of moments using hypnosis.
Cool. So last question, when people are looking to your show, where are you getting all that creativity from? I mean, you basically make all your routines yourself. You really give your own personal taste to it, your own personal
flair. Yeah,
flair.
Sure.
So where is that coming from? Obviously from you, but do you have specific procedures where you go through to?
Well, I think a lot of that is experience. It comes with experience, and you know that the campfire story, when people are sitting around a campfire and one person starts the story and then the next person changes one word, and then the next person changes one word, and the next person changes one word, and by the time it goes all the way around the campfire group, by the time it gets to the end, it's not the same sentence.
Okay.
Same thing happens over a 20-year career. You design a routine, and then you make a switch. You make one small switch, and it's another small switch. By the time you're 5 years or 6, 7 years into the routine, it's not the same anymore, and it has evolved over time. So small little changes, doing over 300 shows a year, I make small changes, and at the end of the year, there's a lot of different changes. Yeah. So that's part of it. Second part of it is, I think that you have to look at life in a funny way. Life is silly, and if you can laugh at life, you see comedy in everything. I think that I've been a better writer of comedy since my children were born. They're hilarious. Just watching life from their eyes or through their eyes really makes a difference in perspective. So now, for me, because the show order is very similar from night to night, for me not to get bored, I'm looking for opportunity to add improv and to add some comedy and to add my personality into it. So I'm becoming more and more aware. And I think that that's what changes. Let's say, for example, your Volkswagen Beetle cars. You see them on the road, but you don't really see them. And then one day you decide, maybe I'd like to buy one. And then you see them on the road all the time.
Yeah.
Because your awareness changed. So I just changed my awareness and look for opportunities for jokes. But the key for that is be able to memorize your entire show script and know it so well that it becomes second nature. Yeah. That where you're putting your mental energy is looking for opportunities to make something funny, say something funny, interact with the individual that's funny. That's all that I'm putting my energy to, because everything else is second nature.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great message for everybody who's watching. If you look to life in a silly way, you can find humor everywhere.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's exactly the truth. And now you live your life that way, you end up being a happier person.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Marc, for this interview. And if you haven't seen Marc Savard hypnosis shows, you can go to YouTube and see some great scenarios of what he's doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And look forward to reconnecting with you soon.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
thanks for watching. Bye-bye.